Hi, my name is Maisel. I'm going to talk with you today about an incredibly powerful yet simple and easy skill to be able to change how you respond to anxiety, worry, and panic. And instead of being caught in a battle between you and your anxiety, this will hopefully help free you up to be able to devote your energy to living a more meaningful and present life in the moment. So for one of the most effective and useful things we can do when we feel anxious, panicky, or worried is actually to be open to those uncomfortable sensations in our body. Anxiety programs us to run away, to try to struggle, or feel better. But it's sort of like playing a rigged game where we kind of get trapped in quicksand. And the more you struggle to free yourself, the stucker you get in the quicksand. When we're anxious or fearful and we don't want to feel that way and we're constantly trying to push it away, it actually maintains the very worry and anxiety that we're trying to get rid of in the first place. If we can meet our anxiety with an attitude of openness and acceptance and being really gentle with ourselves, what will happen is it'll allow the storm of anxiety to pass by on its own, and eventually the anxiety will burn itself out. But if we're running away or trying to control how we feel, it's going to keep going a lot longer than we wanted to. So any effective skill or tool to respond to anxiety is going to have to include practicing an attitude of being open to whatever experience your body decides to give you. It's sort of like imagining if you had a crying baby and it might be kind of annoying and frustrating. You want to sort of push it away, but we're supposed to cuddle it close and be caring and just carry it near to us, and eventually the baby will calm down, just like eventually the storm of anxiety will pass by. Once we're able to open ourselves up to what anxiety throws at us, it can be really helpful to challenge some of the negative, catastrophic thinking styles that anxiety is so good at putting inside our heads. And one way to do that is to ask ourselves 4 simple questions. So think of a situation that might trigger some of your anxiety or worry, and ask yourself, number 1, what's the worst case scenario? What do I fear really happening and what can go horribly wrong? Number 2, ask yourself, what would be the very best case scenario? What ultimately do I hope for? Number 3, asking yourself, well, what's the most likely case here? What will probably happen? And number 4, asking yourself, if that worst case scenario actually does occur, how will you respond? How will you cope with it? And once you're able to walk yourself through those questions, just taking a moment and recognizing how that feels to shift your perspective a little bit and gain some ground on the anxiety, and then ultimately being able to take a breath, allowing the anxiety to be, and reshifting your attention on the present moment and on what the next step of your day is going to be. And practicing a skill like this, where you open yourself up and you allow whatever sort of uncomfortable feeling or sensation, and then you push back and challenge some of those negative worst case scenarios, can be an absolute powerhouse in getting your anxiety and worry under more control and freeing you up to being the person that you want to be. Remember, this sort of skill takes practice, and it's not a one-time fix, but every time you practice opening up and seeing things from a different perspective in order to help let go, you're kind of doing a bicep curl for the part of your brain that's responsible for dealing with anxiety and worry. And the more we practice, the better we get, and the less power ultimately anxiety will have over your life.